Hello guys, welcome to another video, and in case you haven't already noticed in the quick second, we're making a tier list, but this time it's about cookies. So, I guess I did, sorry, I have to say first, I did make this tier list. It's trying to sell me Pepto-Bismol. Interesting. I did make this tier list, or the template, so I'll put the link in the description and I'll pin it in the comments for anyone who wants to try it out themselves. I'll try to find a way for everyone to share what they got, but until then, just, I guess, let us know. I guess the best place to get started is the first cookie, because, I mean, if you pick the last, you're pretty much sociopathic. Anyways, the Macadamia Nut Cookie, it's an interesting cookie, right? Like, I find the only places that you would get it is when you thought it was just simple white chocolate chip, and then you end up with nuts inside of it, and you're like, oh, I didn't know it had nuts. But you bite into it. That's everyone's first experience. I promise you, there is no one who is told that this cookie has nuts in it. If you did, please let me know. You are built differently. Anyways, I find that the best time this cookie is served is probably when it's put up, there's like, and you've had a really big dinner with a bunch of people who have a lot of food at the table. Why is this man looking at me? Anyways, and they for dessert they decide to put a cake, maybe a fruit cake, all the big style, right? And then as a side, they put a macadamia nut cookie. Now that's when you'll be like, oh, right? Cause me, I'm a man of cookie, right? I gotta have cookie, but I think that it's just simply not my first choice when it comes to cookies. I would probably rather have the cake or one of the other ones, because it's probably the worst one, in my opinion. That's kind of a spoiler. Anyways, I guess let's start off old-fashioned, I guess you could say it, with the Macaroon. Now, the Macaroon, I guess there's not much to say about it. I'd say it's the fanciest of the cookies. It's the most expensive, the highest of qualities, has the most colors out of them all. And I think that, personally, dare I say it, I think it's overrated. It seems to have like a lot of good flavors. Like my personal favorite are strawberry and the blueberry, and then there's strawberry again. That's a good one. The point is, you can see there's not many good flavor selections. Like, if I'm going to have a cookie, I'm going to want something that's probably not yellow or fruity, because I just have something against yellow cookies. You see that one right there? That makes me think of lemon. The last thing I want to think of when I'm having a cookie. So, I mean, like, they have good flavors. I have to give it to them. It's definitely going to be above the macadamia nut, even though I still love this cookie, okay? All these cookies are really good. Just some I like more than the other. So I'm going to have to say, it's an alright cookie. I'm sorry. Alright? It's just not that good. Now, next we have the Oreo. Wow. Okay. The Oreo. Now, Oreo has produced, like, a bunch of good different flavors. Some failed miserably. Others did pretty well. So, I think it's pretty surprising that Oreo has so much to offer with such a simple brand. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I guess what I am trying to say is, it's a pretty good cookie. Kind of a spoiler to what I'm going to put it to, but you can't go wrong with an Oreo. It's not godly, because it's pretty much the same flavor in every single one of them. Like, there's thin and fat Oreos, or there's the mint ones. That's the most different one. So, I'm going to say it's pretty good. I personally really like an Oreo. You can't go wrong with an Oreo. An Oreo is an Oreo. So next up, for those of you who don't know what this cookie is, it is a sugar cookie. These you probably find mostly at Christmas parties, probably with some kind of decoration on it. It had like 12 pounds of sugar on it. Enough to keep you going for, I'd say, 3.5 days without sleep. Had the experience myself. It's honestly a pretty good cookie. There's nowhere to go wrong with a 5-hour energy cookie, because of the amazing, well, not amazing, pretty good taste that you can have. Next up is Senor OG, the chocolate chip cookie. Wow. Let me just first start off with putting it straight to godly, because explanation later. do first, think later. That's my motto when it comes to making a cookie tier list, even though all the other tiers have been the absolute opposite. Let's start off by explaining the fact that it is the OG. It is the perfect option for those who have never had any exquisite, delicious cookies. It's the greatest thing that you could possibly have if you are too scared to try something colorful when you're looking for a simple dessert. It's perfect when you're too scared to be awake for the next 4.5 days. What are you looking at? It's too perfect for something that looks like it has milk inside of it. It's the best. It's plain. It's classic. You can't go wrong with it. So up next we have the double chocolate chip cookie. Now, I'd say a lot of people would put this in godly as their first choice, but personally, I'd have to say it's a pretty good cookie. Alright, I've noticed that sometimes when I get this one from Subway, it has just too much chocolate in it. In fact, you see these sometimes they have nuts inside of them, which, I mean, most of the time I don't have peanut allergies. It's not a problem for me. If you have peanut allergies, then I feel sorry for you, because there's a peanut cookie on this list that is very important for later on. Then I feel like it's just too much of the same flavor, you know. That's why the chocolate chip cookie is so good. It has the regular dough and the chocolate chips. It's perfection, a perfect mix of everything. So, pretty good cookie. Next up we have Oatmeal Raisin Cookie. Hated by so many people, and that's why we need to talk about this cookie, okay? I think we can all agree, anyone who's tried it, it is overhated. It's not that bad. People who refuse to try it are just going with the popular standards or whatever I'm saying. It's just not that bad. The raisins kind of go well with the oatmeal. And sometimes they have some variations where they put oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, which can be even better. But I wouldn't say it's good enough to compete. Oh, what's wrong with my mouse? I wouldn't say it's good enough to compete with the pretty good cookies. Definitely not in the godly level. So I think I'll put it next to the Macaroon. It's an alright cookie. Always enjoyable to have, but I'd rather have any of these. And last but not least, our peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. Listen to me. As I said before, having peanut allergies is like missing out on the world's biggest event and you have an invitation. These are to die for, and I mean literally. If you have peanut allergies, grab your EpiPen, bite one in, and stab at it, because this is pure perfection. Their peanut butter, it's so artificial. It doesn't taste anything like peanuts, except for it kind of does, and I'm lying to you right now, but that's where it goes perfectly. They don't care about healthiness or any of that nonsense that was definitely made up by Wikipedia. Yeah, darn vegetables. It was all made up to create a perfect cookie. And that's why, as our final cookie enjoys, it's going into godly alongside with chocolate chip. Now, before I end off this video, I of course have to say that this is fully my opinion. If you have something else to say, please feel free. I know we're not in a country on YouTube, but there is free speech. I'm not blocking anyone, okay? So please, feel free to express your opinions. I'll put it in the chat, the link. Alright guys, and that'll be it for today's video. As always, you're welcome very much for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice... Whoa, man, what are you... Yo, what? What do we have here? A cookie tier list you've been working on? Well, I'm going on this tier list, whether you like it or not, because after all, I'm a vegetable. I'm good for you. And at the end of the day, cookies would die to be like me. Ha 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 ha. Wah ha ha ha. Oh.